Hello, welcome to my channel Journey with Some. Today I have come up again with a new topic with aggregate method. Can we analyze the statistics? So last time we have learnt about describe method. Now I will teach you how the aggregate method can be used efficiently. So now you can see one text file with summary statistics of scores by gender. It has been calculated the descriptive statistics of count, mean, standard deviation, median, the quartiles, the minimum and maximum value. It has been calculated with the gender wise. So let's go now how we can write a Python code for this. So let's go to the visual code now, and you can see the DF data frame have the ID column and the gender column, the age column, and with the country and with the score. Now, as per this statistical analysis, we need a score of descriptive statistics with a gender wise. So how we can do with the data right now. So we will calculate the descriptive statistics of score with a gender. So now we will learn about the aggregate method today. So let's write one data frame called aggregate, and we'll call the data frame width of score. So now we are calculating the descriptive statistics with minimum, maximum, mean, standard deviation, median and count. In this, here we cannot count the quartiles here, but we can write in a different way how we can do. So let's execute here. Now if you see the aggregate, it has been calculated with the series wise. So let's open. You can see the score column with all the descriptive statistics except the quartiles. So how we can do include the quartiles value here. So we'll go for aggregate with quartiles. So we'll call the DF data frame with to calculate the score value and the aggregate column. So I'm opening the curly brackets here. So let's begin. So now initially as per the final statistics in the text file, we'll count the count, mean, standard deviation, median, and the quartiles and the minimum and maximum. So let's go with the count, with the mean, and now we'll got the standard deviation, and we can calculate the median, and here we can write like quartiles, the 25th quartile, and here we cannot calculate with aggregate method in the newer version of pandas package. Instead of writing the quantile function, you have to use the lambda function to calculate the like the quartiles of each row. So let's see this one, and we can calculate the quartile 75th, and now we can calculate the quartile of 50th, and now in the end we can calculate the minimum and maximum value. So when you execute here, if you open the aggregate underscore q, you can see all the parameters related to the descriptive statistics of the score. Now we will learn how we can calculate the width by gender here. So we will calculate with gender now. So we can use the group by function with the gender to the score value and apply the same. Let's see whether we can able to execute here the same code here or not. So let's copy and close the curly brackets and close the parentheses and just execute. So it's showing the nested rename is not supported. So because here for a like if you want to use the group by, the series cannot be the series of the variable of aggregate, it cannot be supported here. So how we can execute this code here? So let's comment this one for now, how we can execute. So now we will write one more with G. So right now we are calculating with the group by function of gender, and we are calculating the aggregate function. So let's do some kind of modification here. We can calculate the count of the count of the score with the gender wise and the mean, median, and let's calculate the quartile one, the Q. So how we have written as Q as a capital. So make sure that you have assigned the same kind of variables here. At minimum and maximum. So once you execute it, yes, it has been done. So when you open this aggregate underscore G, you can see the descriptive statistics of the score by gender wise. So you can see the count, you can see the mean and the standard deviation, median, quartiles, and the minimum and maximum value. Now we can transpose the columns as the rows and the rows as the columns. So we can go back here and we can use the trans underscore G underscore G, and we want to transpose with the transpose function here. So before we go, as we see here, we have made every of the column with 2 decimals. So rounding off to 2 decimals here in the end. But if you see here, for a mean, we have a 3 decimals and the same with the standard deviation. So we want to standardize your output accordingly. So now we will use the round function. We are rounding to 2. So when you execute here, so we are using the rename function to convert your index of your column name into a statistics. So when you execute this one, so when you open this trans underscore agg underscore g, you can see the male and the female with the all the scores statistics here. So now finally we can import your data to outside of your Python environment. How we can do? So we can give the file path and we are naming them as like summary underscore statistics underscore g. Maybe we can make this as a short, and right now we can open the function now. Before we go it, just run this. You can see the file underscore agg string has been created to create your final output in the text format. So when you will use the with to open the file called file this one, this summary underscore this stat. So when you go with this, we are writing all the titles over here. So let's remove this one. And if you see here, we already have assigned once in the last class like a title, the summary statistics of score by gender. We can use the same one, and we will use the breaks here with double breaks here and the here. So we are using this slash n, and now we can calculate the another value. So instead of hyphen, we can keep the underscore to give a straight line here. We'll go back to the text file again. If you observe how it has been aligned, if you see the statistics, it has been aligned the left and the male and female in the right, if you see the decimals also. So how we can write it in Visual Code? So we write the function, and before we write, we'll open the f formatted string to give whatever we have aligned over here. So let's open the curly bracket, and the first column name is statistics, And let's close this quotations and write which is less to align with the left, you keep it as less than. So now close a curly bracket. Okay, then we will open the curly bracket again. Let's open the female and we will go back again with the male also, and slash n. So to give in a one break. So when you execute here, you have some invalid syntax. So can we find what this invalid syntax is about? So when you have some issues with this, be all the program here and go to the Copilot. Just debug. So it will telling you it's working out the prompt what we are giving. Let's see what kind of answer we receive from the Copilot now. So instead of giving here, it's already taking the command prompt here to write in such a way. If you see in the down, it's already giving the stat over here and so much of code it has been given. So now I don't want to take any kind of code. Let's remove all the code what it has been given and let's execute the one we have here. Okay. Now when you execute this, you can see it has been given the right code. So what I have forgot this one here is the quotations. So before here, if I see, I have not written the quotation here. So it has been corrected the syntax and it is giving the right quotation now. So now it's also given the right code here. So to give a line under each column. So to give a line like this. Go back here. So I don't want to give this one. I want to give the underscore. When you enter this one, you can see instead of this, you can give this one. So we will align this again. For each column, you have to update this part. So it's giving how much length you have and accordingly it will be done. So here greater than or equal to is nothing but if it's less than, it is telling you to align the left alignment, and the greater it will help you to align in the right hand side. When you key enter, you can see in this way. So let's go to the code now, and instead of 20 we will give the 12. So once you execute this, so it the table will get aligned here. So we'll finally synchronize in the end. So let's go for the other one. Now we will format each row of the final data. So this is your final data you want to export to your file explorer in a text format. So now we will iterate each column by using the for loop and using the underscore to iterate in each row from data frame called trans underscore agg. This is the one what we are using, the data frame, and we will use the loop called iterate rows, and it's giving some other code. We will delete this one, we'll write in a simple way. So each column we will iterate in a different way to iterate each row here. So this statistics will make us a stat is equal to row with statistics, and now we will write as female with to iterate all the values in the female group. And we will write as a male and we will iterate with the female group, male group. Sorry. So when you enter this, we will write the code with this. Now what this telling you is, from this you iterate each row of this one and format accordingly. So, and it to make it like a two decimal. So here I've removed one code called round. So no need to use the round option here. The final data set, when you want to write into a text file, you can mention the decimal. So when you enter this one, so you will see error, series object not callable. So let's check where we are getting wrong in this code. So the main thing is, instead of bracket, we have given the, like, instead of using the square brackets, we have used the parentheses. So let's change this now. So now when you execute this, it's given the right one. Okay. So when you see here, it lot of space in between each column. So now we will debug this one again. So because we have used this copilot, so instead of giving 12, it has given a 20, and even the 10, it has changed into 12. So let's change all the length variables what it has defined. So let's check each column how it is getting defined now. So this will be changed into 10, and this also as a 10. So when I execute this, let's see how the output looks like. So this has to still move here, because in the down only we can change the format of this. So we'll make it as a 12, and this as a 10, and this also as a 10. So when you execute this, let's see how this looks like. This is how the final output has been given. So whatever you want to try using the copilot. There are a lot of options nowadays to learn a new syntax. Now try what kind of analysis you would like to do. So here ends the topic now. See you in the next class. Maybe in the description I'll give you one task. Check out that. Thank you.